In this clip, we'll be putting on textures to our outfit to create a similar effect as shown on the image. We will do the jumpsuit and dress, and I will let you take care of the purse yourself. Of course, at this point, you can choose different colors, even materials if you would like. So first of all, let's create 3 fabrics. So let's go to the Fabric tab and add 2 more. One is going to be for the dress. One is going to be for the jumpsuit, and the other is going to be for the details. Now let's also apply them correctly by dragging and dropping. So drag and drop the dress material to the pleated dress, and select, for the jumpsuit, select all of the patterns that consist of our jumpsuit, leaving out the strips of fabric because I'm going to apply the detail material on them. Okay, and the details are all the rest of the patterns. Alright, so first of all, let's start with the dress. Now I would like it to be kind of leathery, have a leather effect. So I'm going to change the front material, of course, and I'm going to change the color to black. And hit OK, and of course I'm also going to change the specular color to give it the shininess it needs to kind of create a visual representation of leather. Now we can also even play with the shininess factor, so I think something like 3 would do. And let's also change the preset material to D-leather. And let's also simulate to see. Now the dress is becoming a bit more stiffer than it was, since we applied a very stiff material to it. But this is the effect that I'm going for. I actually want it to stick out like this. You can choose whatever kind of material you think is appropriate yourselves. Now let's also jump to the jumpsuit material. First of all, I'm going to change the color of the material to something like this. And I won't spend too much time on this. I'm actually going to just put the preset of our chiffon on it to get smooth wrinkles. And now you'll notice it needs a bit more time to finish simulating, but we're already getting smoother results all around. And next is for the details. The details are going to have a color a little bit darker than the whole jumpsuit, so I'm going to use my eyedropper tool to select this color and just make it a bit more darker. And we're also going to reduce the opacity to create a bit of a see-through effect. And before we move on, I'm just going to take my Edit Pattern tool and just make this necklace we created a bit thinner because it's bothering me the way it's so thick. Maybe we can afford to go a bit more darker. And let's also push the fabric a bit together here in the chest area. Okay, so as I said, you can have fun with this outfit and even import your own textures or maybe some patterns, whatever you see fitting. But for me, I believe that this outfit is done, so let's talk a little about how to prepare the 3D model for exporting. Now, as we have already mentioned, in a lot of cases, the mesh is imported to other 3D applications for sculpting, and in order for that process to go smoothly, we need to convert the mesh we have right now from triangles to quads. So if we click on this pattern, we will see that right now we have triangles, and we're going to need to convert this into quads, and we can easily do that by, let's zoom out so I can see all the patterns. Let's select all of the patterns in the 2D window and right-click in the 3D window and select quadrangulate. And just leave this process because it takes a bit more time. And when it's done, let's simulate again. And now we actually converted this mesh into quads, so it's going to be easier for sculpting and such. Now there still might be a mistake here and there when exporting because the process is not perfect, but you can easily resolve that in other 3D software. Now once this is done, I like to lower the particle distance to about 5 and leave out certain areas that are hidden. Those can have a larger particle distance. So for instance, of course the sleeves and the front and back pattern are very much visible. They also have a lot of wrinkles. So I'm just going to lower that to 5. Now, of course, the particle distance largely depends on the project that you're doing, whether you need a higher or lower poly model. But since we're doing a render, we will need all the detail we can get anyhow. We're getting some fine details here, a lot of nice wrinkles. Now, after all of this, I take one final look at my model to see if I could use any more wrinkles or not, or if everything is alright. And if I need more wrinkles, I actually just bump up the shrinkage weft and warp. So actually I'm going to apply a bit more wrinkles in the front pattern and observe the result. Now let's also change the warp to 104. And as you can see, it's already wrinkling up quite a bit. The same rule applies here as for the purse. It's usually a good idea to exaggerate in MD because some of the wrinkles might not be visible in other 3D applications and different lighting settings. Now that we have finished the outfit and got it to the stage that we're happy with, we can export it using this pose or another one. Posing and animating is something we'll take a look at in the upcoming module, since this gives us more possibility to make interesting scenes such as this one.